Yeah, because his minutes keep staying the same, and that's probably why he's getting nicked, Skip. And as you get older, the minutes should decrease, adjust accordingly. We see Dame Lillard's already, hadn't been in the league in half as long as LeBron. Took a rest night last night. Giannis, take a rest night here and there. LeBron James, they got LeBron playing 35, 36 minutes. You can't do that.
Well, whose fault is that?
Skip, it's their fault because they haven't assembled a team good enough to win without him on the court. That's their fault.
But I get the feeling he takes himself in and out of games.
But I'm saying if LeBron could miss games if they had a team to win, they're in no position. If you look at LeBron through the course of his year, he's had to, if he's missing games in Cleveland, how many games you think they're going to win without LeBron on the court? In his 4 years that he returned to Cleveland, how many games you think they're going to win with him on the court? Okay, he comes to L.A. and he's not on the court. How many games you think they're going to win without him? So that's why he has to play.
A year ago, I was sort of thinking maybe that Russell Westbrook could sort of stem the tide, and maybe that Westbrook and Anthony Davis could win some games without LeBron. Wasn't that the game plan?
That was the game plan. But what has happened, Skip? The Lakers have put LeBron in a situation that in year 20, age 37, he's still having to play the amount of minutes that he has to play because they haven't surrounded him with a complementary team. And so instead of rather doing that, they basically go as he go. So, you know, as you mentioned, in 2018-19, he missed 27 games. He was averaging 35 minutes. They finished ninth in the West, lost in the play-in. 2019-20, 67 games he played, missed 4. They won the NBA Finals, played a little less than 35 minutes. Last year, we know what happened. Well, 2 years ago, 2021, played 45 games, missed 26, played a little less than 34 minutes, lost in the first round. And last year, missed 27 games. Skip, he's playing 37 minutes.
We led the league in minutes per game.
And you're 19. So what do you think is going to happen? Skip, these old school cars, and we see them all the time, the Cudas and the Chevelles, they look nice. But you cannot run a 70s car in today and drive it. You cannot do it all the time. You take it for a nice Sunday, Saturday spin, and you come back and you put it back in the garage. But if you think you're going to drive it to work on a daily basis, you better have a AAA.
So now he's just a vintage old car.
He can't play the minutes that he once played. Absolutely not. Nobody thinks he can. I know LeBron thinks he can, but he can't. His body is not equipped to take the rigors because he has to play, and he's a high-impact player. So he's doing an awful lot. He's just not standing around. He's not a big Skip who gets the ball and go stand on the block. That's not what he is. Look at the guys that have played 20 years. None of the guys have played the kind of minutes if they were healthy. We look at Kobe, Skip. People don't realize Kobe, he played 6 games in 2013, missed 76. 2014-15, he played 35 games, missed 47. And his last year, 66, he played 60 and missed 16. Played 28 minutes, 34 minutes, a little less than 30 minutes. Finished second to last.
He started having career-threatening injuries, right? Like Achilles tear. LeBron hasn't had that yet, I'm knocking on wood.
But what happened? His body started to wear down because he played those years, all those minutes, all those playoffs, all those rounds. LeBron James has played more minutes than anybody in NBA history.
He has.
So don't you think his body should have more wear and tear? And that's what we're starting to see.
Okay. I still say he coaches himself. It's up to him to take himself in and out. Even Darvin Ham, the new sheriff, I just think in the end, when I watch, you can just see LeBron, he'll get up off the end of the bench and just go down to Darvin and say, I'm going in.
Right.
What are you going to say? He's LeBron James. I mean, you can't manage his minutes for him. You can talk to him maybe the day or before the game or the day after the game about what are we doing here, but it's up to LeBron. Okay, so what is LeBron all about right now? In the end, to me, his priority in basketball life is to pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to become the greatest scorer in the history of the game.
Do you believe LeBron is on a championship caliber winning team right now?
No.
Okay, then so what should he focus on? Okay,
well, I got it. But I'm just saying that's what the focus has been for him. That's the essence. If he wants to make a GOAT case, he needs to pass Kareem. If we're talking about his legacy, if you could go down as the greatest scorer in the history of the game, that is a huge deal. It's not a medium deal. It's a huge deal.
Well, I even though, Skip, I believe he's going to break the record, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as people thought because we see he's getting off to a rocky start.
Yep.
But, Skip, people still don't look at him as a scorer, although he could possibly be the all-time leading scorer.
Yep.
They're not going to look at him like a Jordan. They're not going to look at him like a Kobe or a KD.
Well, it's because Jordan led the league in scoring 10 individual seasons.
Yeah.
And LeBron's done it one time. But obviously, LeBron has played a lot longer than Jordan.
But Jordan led the league in shot attempts.
Okay, I got it. That's just what he did because that's who he was and that's who they were. They were all Jordan all the time.
Right.
Okay, LeBron is one of the best passers in the history of basketball. So I give you that. He's going to be very high in assists and obviously has a shot to become the greatest scorer ever. And I still say he's the greatest driver of the basketball I've ever seen. He's been limited by being a below-average shooter from mid-range and especially from three. Yet what do we see from him as his career progresses and then starts to wane? His three-point attempts go through the roof because he's saying, it's easier on my body just to pull up and shoot a three. That way I don't have to take any contact. So he's averaging up. He's up around 8 again. In the last 3 years, he's been 8, and they're all career highs. And he'll be, I'm sure, depending on how many games he plays, but in threes per game, I think he's 20th now. But last year he finished 15th. So he's going to be high volume, low make on threes. But threes are better than twos if you're chasing Kareem, right?
And what do you say, Skip? I'm not getting the calls, so I'm driving the basketball and with no benefit of the call. So I might as well take this wear and tear.
Okay, I got it. So he makes max money, what is it, around $50 million. And he's now being paid as a gate attraction more than a playoff driver, where he can't drive you into the playoffs. He can't lift whatever they have into the playoffs, right?
No, those days are over. Maybe 6-7 years ago, that LeBron possibly could do something with this team. Not now, not in year 20.
Okay, so if in fact they are going to miss the playoffs for a second straight year and miss the play-in tournament for a second straight year, Jeannie Buss, who is a businesswoman, has to sit back and think, well, I'm paying him $50 million. I need him to become the gate attraction he will become as he gets closer and closer to Kareem.
Right.
So now it's about diminishing returns. If you play high minutes, does that equate to more injuries? Well, you could put 2 and 2 together, right?
Yeah.
But he's thinking, I need to play higher minutes because it gives me more of a chance to catch and pass Kareem, right? But you have to parcel it out correctly. In your head, you have to think, well, maybe if I play medium minutes, that it'll keep me healthier to pass Kareem.
Right.
So that's the junction he's at in his career psychologically.
Yeah.
What's the right way to
But Skip, that's why this record is so. Nobody thought they would break this record.
It's why you said Karl Malone thought he could and failed.
Because think about it, Skip. Think about how many years you have to play. How many years you have to play at elite level. Because here's the thing: LeBron James has averaged at least 25 points for 18 straight years, and he's still about 1,100 points away from the record. As his body starts to break down, that's why nobody thought that. Who's going to be able to play at least 20 years and average 25 points a season?
You got it. I agree. And I told you yesterday, I looked up the night before and I thought, wait a second, he's 1,100 points away?
Yeah.
It got in my head that he was like 400 points away.
No.
It felt like it was imminent, like we're counting down toward the Kareem record, right? We're not counting down yet.
No, I don't think you start to count down until you get under 500, and you still need about 30 games to play.
Okay, and yet he got ill and he missed the Halloween night, right? The Halloween party. And then he's got some mysterious foot injury. I don't know what it is, but it's foot soreness. Who knows what it is?
This might be a blessing in disguise because I believe it'll give him an opportunity with the groin. You hate to have that, Skip, but maybe you get an opportunity to rest the foot. Maybe you get an opportunity to rest the hip or the knee or whatever is going on in your lower extremities while you're dealing with this groin.
They're saying it's an adductor, but whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's somewhere in that region. And yet, these are little things, but they're piling up toward bigger things.
Well, they come with greater. They come with Skip. They come with greater frequency.
Right.
And they're keeping him out for extended periods of time. Remember, the longest time LeBron was out, he had the back injury when he first went back to Cleveland.
Yeah.
And he had the back injury, and I think he missed like 2 weeks. But other than that, we haven't seen LeBron miss any substantial amount of time.
But he has missed a quarter of his Laker games.
Yes.
That's fairly significant to me.
Yeah, but Skip, you think about it, the man went to 9 finals in 10 years.
He did.
And we saw what happened. We saw what happened with Magic and them. Magic hamstrings started unraveling. Byron Scott hamstrings started unraveling. James Worthy knees started buckling.
Yep.
That's an awful. I mean, he's playing 2, 3 extra seasons, 4 extra seasons over the course, and you're like, yeah. Well, we saw what happened with the Warriors.
Yep. That's true. So I used to call LeBron Iron Man, and now I'm starting to call him human, right?
Yeah.
He's just human.
Yes.
It's starting to take its toll.
Yeah, and we see Brady, what Brady doing? The passes are shorter and shorter because I don't want to take those hits. I don't want to subject my body to this because to throw the ball down the field, Skip, it's going to take time for them to get down the field. Now, here, you go ahead and take this. Hey, I want you get hit. I ain't trying to take
By the way, I
hit.
saw an interesting Brady stat maybe yesterday. When he gets rid of the ball in 2.5 seconds or less, which is lightning, his QBR is #1 in the league.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of who he is. It's like, I got to because I don't get great protection because they've been at the bottom of pass rate win rush, right? Win rate.
block.
Yeah. So the point is he's getting rid of the ball quickly because it's at 45, it's the only way to survive. If you can't do no risk it, no biscuit, you can't stand back there for 5 seconds hoping that somebody's going to break free deep.
Exactly.
Because you're liable to take a shot that will be that shot.
See, LeBron doesn't get that luxury. LeBron don't get to say no risk it, no biscuit. He has to go out there and run, stop, plant, cut on 37 year 20 legs.
Right. And then allegedly you're supposed to play on the other end of the floor to a certain degree.
No.
It helps when you can get stops. Guys, LeBron is 1,076 points away from Kareem to be exact. I don't know, maybe midseason will catch him?
Nah,
We'll
he's going to
find
need at
out.
least
All right.
50 games.
Skip, 50 games?
Yeah, at least.
All
At
right.
least, Skip. Don't you
Marking it
think?
down.
Yes, I do.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.